Hello, it's Sue Maddox here, helping you make beautiful cards at home. Today I'm going to show you some basic measurements. If you're in Australia and you're making cards and you'd like to add some pattern paper to the front of your card, I'll show you all the measurements you need to make that quick and easy. Okay, let's get a start. Now, if you've watched some of my earlier videos, you'll see my basic toolkit. We're adding a few extra supplies today and a couple of colour choices there for you as well. So some of the things we're using for our cards that we've got today are the beautiful In Good Taste pattern paper pack. I love this one. We've got our white from our basic collection that we were talking about earlier, and I've added in navy and early espresso. Some of the cards I'm using today, you can, instead of the navy, you could pick out Rococo Rose is another option as well. We've got the ink pads that match with those. So I've got the early espresso and the night of navy here. And I've got a different greeting set today, itty bitty birthdays, lots of different birthday stamps in that one. And the tailored tag punch that will fit with it. There's a few other options that will fit these greetings as well. Or you could use the greeting set that we had in one of my earlier videos if you'd prefer. All right, let's get a start and see how quick and easy it is to put together some pattern paper cards. Okay, let's have a closer look at that pattern paper pack. This is called In Good Taste, and this is just a few of the papers. There's a lot more. It's got some beautiful stone ones like these ones. I love these. It's like a textured sort of paint looking finish. Some beautiful wood grains here in a few different shades, from darker through to a nice light wood. There's some other, almost like a fabric-y looking paper as well, and a bunch more. There's some stone, there's some tiles. It's just such a gorgeous pack. I love this one. So easy. The paper really does all the work with your cards with these ones. We're going to work with these two today. So let's just have a look at some key measurements to make some beautiful pattern paper cards. Okay, our first measurement here, let's make our card base. So I'm in Australia, we have A4 cardstock, and if I cut this in half, so that is going to be at the 14.8 centimetre mark. And then I'm going to score up the middle at the 10.5 centimetre mark. So I'm going to use the lighter blade here. The dark one is for cutting, the light one is for scoring. Okay. Now I have my card front, which is 10.5 centimetres wide and 14.8 centimetres tall. Now, if that's a bit of a messy number for you, some people don't like the little 0.8 there, you can cut that to 14.5 centimetres. You just need to adjust the rest of these measurements. So that's another option if you like nice, neat sort of numbers there. So this is my card front. Now we're going to have a look at what size we would like our pattern paper to be if we just want a little narrow border to show. So let's have a look at that. Time for our pattern paper. Now I would like just a 0.5 centimetre to show around the edge of this, so I'm going to cut this one 9.5 centimetres wide, 13.8 centimetres tall. So that's just basically taking 1 centimetre off each of our dimensions there. So line him up on 9.5, that out to the side, and then flip him sideways here, and we want the 13.8. You could put a little sticker on the edge of your trimmer just to remind you of your main dimensions that you use over and over. Once you've been making them for a little while, you find just my trimmer just automatically goes there. Okay, so if I have a look at this now, you can see a little 0.5 centimetre border shows all the way around. Let's stick that on. Now today I'm using my Stampin' Seal, but you could also use your liquid glue if you prefer. Okay, let's pop him on. Look at the back of this one's just as nice. It's hard to choose with this paper whether you want to use the front or the back. All right, a little bit more across here. Don't forget, if you're using the Stampin' Seal, just flip him over at the end and then he'll be all ready for the next time you want to use it. All right, let's pop him on here. Get him lined up. This is the tricky bit, isn't it? Getting it lined up straight, and that's where that liquid glue can be quite good, because it just gives you a little bit of wiggle room. I'm living dangerously today and using the other one. Okay, here we have our card. Let's add a little greeting. So our greeting set that we're using today is this Itty Bitty Birthdays. Some great birthday greetings in here. I've got my D block here that I've been using, and let's pick out a greeting. I might pick just a plain old happy birthday, I think. Let's grab him out. So just pop your little fingernail underneath the edge of the cling mount. They are quite sticky, so don't pull it up by the rubber. Pull it up by the edge and then he'll come off. You can pop him onto your block, and then we're ready to stamp. Now, I need a bit of white. Let's find a scrap here. Found white cardstock. And we're going to go tap, tap, tap. And now, with this particular punch, we do want a little bit of space around the edge. So don't go too close to the edge here when you're stamping this one. Put him in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you need a couple of goes with a greeting. But that one's come out quite nicely. Let's grab our punch. We're going to flip him over and get him all in at the right position here. Let me just pop him up here so I can do that. A little gentle squeeze is good just to make sure. Check the top and bottom, check each side, make sure you're happy with how that's lined up. And then we've got our punched item ready to go. And our dimensionals that I said I use on every card. We'll just pop a dimensional, well, I think I'll use 4 on this one actually. Okay, peel off the backing. And put him onto our card. Because our colours all coordinate, it looks nice and just professional, doesn't it? So, the ink colour matches the cardstock colour, which matches the blue that's in the paper. So there we have a nice simple one here. Another colour alternative that goes with one of the other papers here is the Rococo Rose, and I've used one of the other greetings here, birthday wishes. Let's get him in the right spot. I love these paint splatter looking patterns in this pack. It's just beautiful. All right, let's say we wanted to just take that up just a notch. So let's have a look at another alternative here. Move these out of the way. Let's bring our pattern paper back. Now it should be the right width, I think. Yes, 9.5 centimetres. We're going to cut again to our 13.8. Okay, so now we've got another piece. Put him over to the side here. And this time I want to add just a little narrow border to this one. So this is how I do it. You can cut it to just a little bit bigger, but I tend to do it like this. Pop your tape on. And what I'm going to do is just put it in the corner here. So I've just got a narrow bit showing on the top edge and the side edge, and then I'm just going to cut the other 2 edges to match. So especially if you're doing a really skinny border like this, I just find this the easiest way. And just a little bit showing there. Sometimes it takes a few goes just to get the hang of where to cut that, but hopefully he'll be even. All right, there we go, we've got that one. Now I'm going to pop that onto a white base. Let me just get one of those ready. Back to my trimmer, and I'm cutting it in half, so that is 14.8. We'll turn him this way and score our fold line. Just gives you a nice neat fold then. Okay, and you can see we've got a little bit of a border showing, and then that nice dark border as well. I like that look. Let's stick him down and then add a greeting. I think this is the trickiest bit. I don't know how often I get to this bit, and then pop him on a little bit wonky. All right, where is my little scrap of white? So we're going to use another greeting now. Let's have a look back in our pack. First of all, I'm going to clean this one I was using before. So I'll just give him a little dab on our Simply Chamois. Now remember, the Simply Chamois, when you first get them, They look beautiful like this, lovely and purple. Once you've had it for a little while, it gets a bit messy. I've gone and rinsed mine out and got him nice and damp, and then I just keep it in a DVD case so he stays nice and soft. And if you have it out, I find that it dries out as soon as you go to clean your next stamp. You'll have to go and just give it a little freshen up again. All right, where were we? Where is my stamp container? Itty Bitty Birthdays. So we're going to pop this one back into the collection, and let's get out this one, which is awesome at any age. My navy ink pad. I've got things going everywhere here. This is how my desk gets so messy. Give that a little tap. I like to sort of tap around a little bit in the ink pad just to make sure that I'm getting it nice and inky. Remember, don't go too close to the edge with this particular punch. You need a little bit of space around it. And let's punch out our greeting. Now, if I wanted to add a little bit of something to this one, let's just get that greeting going. Okay, let me find one of my offcuts here. I've got a nice bit that I was using before in this nice stone. So I'm going to cut another one of those shapes out of that. And we'll just put a bit of tape on him, and then we can just put this off to the side a little bit, or we could go straight. Let's go straight. Okay, some little things on the back here, little dimensionals, and this just adds a little bit of a nice little border to our white piece. Okay, turn him over, and let's put that back down here. Or do we want to go up the top? Maybe we'll go up the top for this one. Get him positioned where you'd like him, and there we go. Okay, so this one's got, get that messy one out of the way, a nice little, just a few extra little features from our first one. All right, let's have a look at that in another colour scheme. So in the pink Rococo Rose, and this time I've added another piece just from that same paper there. Let's come up close so you can see him. I don't know if you can see under there, but it's just, yeah, another little punched piece put underneath. All right, let's have a look at our next measurements. Back for another option now. For this one, we're going to have a little bit of a wider border showing around our pattern paper. So for this one, I'm going to choose this gorgeous tile panel, and this time we're cutting 8.5 centimeters by 12.8 centimeters. So I've taken 2 centimeters off each of the measurements from my base card. Where are we? 8.5. Measurement up there, so I'm looking up here, 8.5 centimeters. Looks so tiny when you cut him down, but once you get him on the card, you see how it works. And we want 12.8. So basically we're just coming in 2 centimeters from each of those measurements. Now this time we're going to have an early espresso base card, so I'm going to cut him in half at my 14.8. Flip him around to score the score line at 10.5. Oh, did I cut him? I did. Okay, let's save that for another bit, and don't move both the scoring and the cutting blade at the same time. That might be a good idea. So I'm just using just the scoring blade that time. That's a bit better. All right, let's put him out of the way, and some tape on the back of our card. Spin around. Okay, and this time you'll see that you get about 1 centimetre on either side, and up in the top and the bottom. Okay, let's grab out another greeting. Now this time I could stamp my greeting on a little piece of this, one of the other patterns here. So pick out one of the light ones. I've got, they say it's your birthday from that same set. I'll give it a little bit of a tap on the early espresso ink. And let's pop him down here. Oh, I might have gone a little bit too low there. Let's see. See if that works with the punch, or whether I've gone a little bit too close to the bottom. Oh no, it's going to work. All right, get him lined up. And where are my trusty dimensionals? Put those on here. Take off our backings. I find these little backings just in the weirdest spots in this house, I tell you. It's a bit like confetti at a wedding. It just goes everywhere. All right, let's pop that on here. And where are we going to put it? Let's have a look. I might put him over on this side with some of these lighter tiles. And there we go. So this time we've got a little bit of a stronger border there. Okay, let's have a look at another example with one of the other patterns. This is one of the lovely tiles there, just with a white greeting, cheers to you, that fits in as well. And you can see the paper does all the work there, doesn't it? And pick out your ink colour to match your cardstock colour. You can't go too far wrong there. All right, let's take these up just a little notch again and give them a little narrow border. So once again, I've got my, where were we? 8.5 centimetre piece by 12.8. You could adapt this just using the same sort of idea to if you have a different size paper, if you're from the US or the UK. I'm not sure what size the UK goes with. Right, now this time I want to add my little side part on. So my little piece that I accidentally chopped in half before will come in very handy. Let's put some tape on the back of this one. And then once again, I'm just going to pop him up into the corner here. Just leaving a nice narrow little border. I love little thin borders. I think they come up well. Okay. Trim off. Oh, that was a bit wide. Let's see. If you do get a bit wide, it's a little bit tricky to just take a tiny shave off the end. It tends to go a little bit fuzzy, but run along with your thumbnail and you'll be fine. If I happen to go really, really wonky on one of these, what I do is grab an old pair of scissors out. So if you find that you're a bit uneven, get an old pair of scissors and I just scuff up the edge. So I just run the scissors along like this and give it a sort of a rough textured finish. And the other nice thing about this is that it just disguises if you happen to have gone a little bit crooked in your cutting. So let's give this a little bit of texture around the edge. Probably don't use your good scissors for this. It's not terribly good for the scissors, I'm sure. Take all the little fluffy bits off and let's stick that onto our base. So I've got a spare base here. We'll score him at 10.5 centimetres. And we're ready to stick our panel on. I'll need the vacuum cleaner in here after today's effort, I think. Oh, I've lost the end of my tape. There he is. Nope. Wind him around a bit. Find that sticky edge. There it is. And a little roll over at the end, just so that doesn't happen. All right, let's get him sorted. There we go. And he just needs, he's got a few fuzzy bits there. Just a nice little fuzzy edged one, that one. And we can add a little greeting on that as well. We get a nice effect. Let's have a look at some I prepared earlier. So same sort of method. We've got our tiled piece and then we've added a nice narrow little border there. I've done our greeting with a piece of another piece of the wood grain paper, that is, underneath, just to make him pop up a little bit more. Another option is to take your pattern piece and cut your window out of it, and then I've just placed a white piece underneath there. When you do that, it's a good idea, let me show you here, stamp your greeting and just cut that so that it's bigger than the punch size, bigger than the window, a little bit bigger than the window, smaller than the base card but bigger than the window. So then when you've got your window there, you can just position this behind it, stick that on with a little bit of tape, and then you're all set to go there. Okay, so that is our collection for today. Let's have a look, let's clean up some of this mess and have a look at them a little bit more tidily. All right, that's a bit tidier. Now, this is one array we've got here where our base card is 10.5 by 14.8, and our little piece of pattern paper that we've put on the top is 8.5 centimetres by 12.8 centimetres, and lots of different variations there. These all use just early espresso cardstock in good taste pattern paper, the early espresso ink, and then we've also got Itty Bitty Birthdays and the tailored tag punch. So that's a whole bunch of things you can make there just using my basic toolkit that I've talked about before, and these ones here, these bits and pieces. Now, our other collection here, where we've got our base card once again, is 10.5 centimetres by 14.8. That's for the card front once it's folded. And the pattern paper piece here is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8 centimetres. Okay, and then a couple of different variations there. This one uses the Night of Navy, or if you prefer this, some of the papers in there in this Rococo Rose. I hope that's been helpful for you. Just a few basic measurements here if you're making cards at home in Australia and you'd like a few tips on what size to cut your various bits and pieces. I'll be back another time with some more tips for ways to make beautiful cards at home. So take care, happy creating, and I'll see you another time. Bye. Don't forget, hit subscribe if you like videos like this. Okay, thank you. See you later.